I know we all want this COVID thing to end, and it will. The restrictions in place now won't last forever. Smart people are figuring out how to get vaccines to everyone, but it will take a little longer. Until then, we need to recommit and finish strong. COVID won't stop spreading on its own. We have to stop spreading it. Meet with friends outside, social distance, and most of all, wear a mask. We're all in. Are you?
Some people see just another local Utah sports app. Oh, wait, what? A local Utah sports app? Introducing the new KSL Sports app, powered by KSLSports.com, Utah's only all-in local sports app, connecting you with all the action you love, the latest news, insider analysis, podcasts from the pros, and so much more. Free. Available right now, anywhere you are. Download the free KSL Sports app today from your favorite app store.
At UCCU, we do mortgages fast.
Seriously fast. Just use your phone or computer to fill out UCCU's super easy mortgage application.
You'll receive an instant pre-approval before you start shopping.
Your completed mortgage file will be underwritten by UCCU's very own in-house professionals.
Like us.
Seriously fast.
Buying or refinancing a home has never been this easy.
Seriously fast and super easy.
It's what I do.
It's what I do.
It's what we do.
We love the new apartment.
The natural light is amazing.
Hardwood floors.
There is a bit of a clogging problem.
At least Geico makes it easy to bundle our renters and car insurance.
Yeah, helping us save even more.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go? Let's have some fun.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
Right next to UVU, Wolverine Crossing is the premier award-winning student property in Orem. With renovations of nearly $5 million, Wolverine Crossing has the look and feel of luxury living, including contemporary upgrades and top-tier amenities. Wolverine Crossing supports a strong academic environment, whether you're on campus or remote, and the resident assistant program is nationally recognized, so safety and support is the top priority. Lease now and get half off your November rent. Wolverine Crossing, this is home.
The road to WAC Vegas runs through WACSports.com. Get all the content you want, all in one place. If you follow one team or all of them, with live broadcasts exclusively on the ESPN family of networks. And behind-the-scenes access on WAC social media. Don't miss the key plays. For insights from the coaches and players, the 2021 Hercules Tires WAC Basketball Tournament, March 10th through the 13th at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas.
Good afternoon and welcome again inside the Lockhart Arena on the campus of Utah Valley University as we await another highly anticipated conference matchup between the Wolverines and the Aggies, the top two teams in the standings in the Western Athletic Conference. I'm Matt Baiamante. I'm joined by Kyle Bruderer, and last night was the first of two meetings between the Aggies and the Wolverines. The second about to unfold here, and boy, did we witness something special last night, Kyle, as Utah Valley. They were in a 2-0 hole, and they were able to climb back, winning the third, fourth, and fifth set, upsetting the Aggies, breaking a couple really impressive streaks by New Mexico State as well. They snapped a New Mexico State 34-game winning streak. The last time they had lost was back in 2018 in this very gym. And also this season, the Aggies had won 20 consecutive sets before dropping that third set to Utah Valley. So just an incredible comeback performance by the Wolverines, especially because they were without the services of their star outside hitter, Kaz Natanavasa, who will not be playing again this afternoon. Made for a wonderful night, and it adds a little intrigue to this second consecutive meeting in back-to-back days between these two teams. Because you got to believe New Mexico State is hungry and they're chomping at the bit to get back on their winning ways.
A big part of the losses for them in those final 3 sets were errors. New Mexico State committed a lot of service errors, handling just attack errors. It was just errors all around, and Utah Valley was able to capitalize. And if you're Utah Valley, you cannot anticipate that New Mexico State will continue to commit errors like that. So the Wolverines have got to up their game, and I think they did a really good job of that at the end of the 5th set especially. Didn't you say they had 5 blocks in the 5th set?
Wolverines had 5 blocks in the 5th set.
And they ended up out-blocking New Mexico State for the match. And so I think that if they can carry that over into this one, it's going to be great.
Aggies are in all black, Wolverines in white with black shorts. Let's get to those starting lineups for the visiting Aggies. Number 1, Darian Markham. Number 8, Lindsey Blakey. Number 11, Shani Lipscomb. Number 12, Victoria Barrett. Number 14, Carly Einer Swayze. Number 19, Savannah Davison. And number 21, Leah Mosher. And for the Wolverines, you just saw Jasa Funk Stratton on the serve. She starts at setter. You also have Kendra Knock, Kristen Bell, Callie Vongana starting again in place of Kasna Tanavasa. Sadie Hampson gets the start along with Saren Jardine and Tori Dorius. And it's the Wolverines who strike first here in the Lockhart Arena. It's 1-0 with Jasa serving again, and Jasa Funk Stratton. We got to take a moment here and just recognize an unbelievable career performance last night for Jasa.
She was so good, 35 assists, and that there were a number of UVU players that made an enormous impact, but Jasa was the shining star last night.
35 assists is a new career high for Jasa Funk Stratton, who is continuing to climb up the record books at Utah Valley in assists. She's 7th all-time in assists and one of only 7 players with over 1,000 career assists. So, and last night in particular, she was great passing the ball all night long, but the 2 biggest plays she made in the match was a kill to tie the match at 16, and then she was a part of a block assist along with Sadie Hampson that sealed the deal for that tremendous 3-2 comeback victory. So Jasa Funk Stratton is certainly a player to keep an eye on for Utah Valley.
Utah Valley known for their serve, and Bishop, arguably the best server in the conference, up for the Wolverines.
She leads the conference in aces per set. Pancake by Dorius. Bishop now over to Vongana. Barrett to go to Davison. And the Wolverine block lands out of play. It's a point to New Mexico State. Serving will be number 16, Natalie Michaels, a senior setter out of Jenks, Oklahoma. Jasa setting it up for Kendra Knock, and a quick side out for UVU.
Jasa just piling on the assists. Done such a good job distributing the ball.
Serving now for Utah Valley, Saren Jardine. Last night in that 3-2 victory, Jardine had 13 digs.
Tough battle at the net.
A Wolverine block. It's Hampson and Vongana. That Wolverine block, as Coach Atoa alluded to after last night's match, it just wasn't there in sets 1 and 2, and they really picked it up to the point where they ended up out-blocking New Mexico State last night, 14-13.
And Vongana had 4 yesterday, so she's starting things off the way she left it. Savannah Davison will serve, and boy, did she have quite the match yesterday. Finished with 13 kills and 14 digs, 3 blocks, and a service ace.
Back to serve for Utah Valley will be Abby Miller. Miller had 12 digs and 7 assists last night in the win.
She did have 2 service aces yesterday as well.
Jasa setting it up on the slide to Hampson. A laser from Sadie Hampson.
They figured that out. They tried going to her a few times early in the match, and she got stuffed. But the last couple of sets and even into now, that slide has been just about automatic.
And speaking of the slide, I think it was really impressive by the Wolverines' defense in terms of being able to stop the Aggie slide, because we saw it time and time again in the first 2 sets as they would dial up Shani Lipscomb on the slide. It seemed automatic.
Yep.
And then a couple adjustments by the Wolverine coaching staff, and they filled those defensive holes and did a really nice job in the final 3 sets of the match.
Dorius didn't really have the greatest angle, couldn't get a hard swing, and that results in a New Mexico State block. And there, Dorius unable to handle it. It's a service ace for the Aggies.
Dorius is a target by the Aggie serves, and she did a nice job last night.
She really did.
They'll go after Dorius. No, it's Bishop this time, passing to Jason. Now they'll go to Dorius. And a defensive mistake by New Mexico State, a big hole in the middle of the floor, and Dorius is able to find the hardwood for a kill.
Yeah, great placement. Utah Valley up 2, right where they want to be at this point.
Abby Vincent is now serving for Utah Valley, the sophomore from American Fork High School. Nice pass and finish there by Katie Bertseal. Bertseal had the start last night. Had a nice performance for Coach Mike Jordan. She was one of 5 Aggies with double-digit kills last night, but it wasn't enough. Serving now is Einer Swayze. Jasa setting up for Kristen Bell. Davison pops it up, and Swayze runs under it. Barrett misfires, and it's a Wolverine point. Kristen Bell made it difficult for the Aggie defense, and Kristen Bell was one of those players that we wondered very early on when we found out that Kazna Tanavasa was going to be unable to go. You wondered which Wolverines are going to step up, and I think when you look especially at that outside hitter position, Kristen Bell is who comes to mind.
Yeah, she really, really stepped up. 17 kills yesterday, a season high. Got close to her career high, which is 21. So if she continues her killing way, I guess, if you want to call it that, we may see another impressive performance today.
Slide to Lipscomb, and Lipscomb delivers. That's that play we saw so many times from the Aggies when they won sets 1 and 2 last night, finding Lipscomb on the slide, and there it is again for New Mexico State. Mexico State 10-1 on the year.
That one loss coming just a day ago, less than a day ago.
Jasa to Kristen, deflected at the net. Swayze back to Lipscomb, over the block. Jasa is ready for it. Miller setting it up for Kristen Bell, and Kristen gets through the block. I don't know how she does it, but she finds a way to get between those hands and get a point for Utah Valley. We saw that time and time again last night. There's just ability to get through the block. Impressive stuff from Kristen Bell. Davison off the hands of Knock. There'll be a point for New Mexico State, and a substitution now as Leah Mosher comes back in for the Aggies. Darian Markham will serve. Jardine dives in. Jasa up to Vongana. Swayze down the middle, deflected. Knock pops it up. Kristen just taps it over. Mosher to Barrett. Now it's Davison. Jardine was ready for it. Longest rally in set number 1. Vongana off the deflection, and Barrett can't keep it in play. I know it's early. We're only halfway through set 1, but there's a tremendous energy and belief from this Wolverine team. You can feel it from up here. That win last night injected a lot of confidence in this team, who have won 5 in a row.
And that last play, you could kind of see it start to materialize all the way through on the poor possession by New Mexico State, and then another beautiful assist. And there's another one as well.
Markham keeps it alive, but it's a great opportunity for the Wolverines to go up by 4. Knock pushes it into the corner. Just misfires, and New Mexico State cuts the lead to 2.
Tell you what, Matt, Utah Valley seems to be getting just about every look that they want. Some of them haven't connected, but Utah Valley, I think at this point yesterday, they started getting pretty flustered with the way that New Mexico State was able to defend them, but they don't look flustered at all.
Wolverines hitting .250 right now. Dorius will get it over on the third hit. Markham to Swayze, now back to Burseal. Jardine with the dig. Jason down the middle. Kendra knock! Good awareness from Kendra, and it's a quick side out for the Wolverines. Wolverines siding out at such an impressive clip here in set number 1. Nearly 90% side out percentage here in the first set.
They've just taken away any, possible chance thus far of New Mexico State putting together a run.
Mosher with the kill for New Mexico State, and they'll regain possession with Savannah Davison back to serve.
Davison at one point towards the end of the match yesterday was really limping pretty badly, but she is one tough lady as she has made a gigantic impact for this team and just not letting it bother her.
Davison is 5th in the Western Athletic Conference in kills per set, right behind Kazna Tanavasa, who is not playing this afternoon. Davison can't keep it in play, and another quick side out for the Wolverines. Abby Miller will come in for Coach Atoa's squad. Wolverines have led the whole way here in set number 1. They had a 3-point lead at the very end of set number 1 last night. They couldn't hold on as New Mexico State went on a 4-0 run to take set number 1. Got to believe that's a point of emphasis from this coaching staff here in this first set, if they have the opportunity to finish off the set with a win. Jardine's dig attempt unable to keep the ball in play, and it's back to New Mexico State with Leah Mosher heading back to serve. Mosher leads the conference in hitting percentage. An outstanding middle blocker for New Mexico State, all-conference type player.
Yeah, Mosher's been excellent all year long.
Holloway over to Barrett, and it's going to be blocked by the Wolverines. Jasa Funk Stratton and Sadie Hampson, not the tallest players for Utah Valley, but boy, have they been effective in these 2 matches against New Mexico State at the net.
You can see Barrett has been affected, I guess, by that Wolverine defense as she's hitting negative .500, where, there were many a kill by her yesterday where if she gets a quality look, it is near impossible to defend. And so with her not really getting a chance to get a groove, it's hurting them.
Both teams trading points in the halfway point of set number 1. Back to serve will be number 14, Carly Einer Swayze. She shares those setting duties with Natalie Michaels for New Mexico State. Swayze back, deflected by the Wolverines. Hampson is just a force of nature at the net, forcing a misfire by New Mexico State. Hampson led the Wolverines in blocks last night with 6, and she's off to a hot start here in set number 1 with 2. Wolverines lead it 15-12.
At UCCU, we do mortgages fast.
Seriously fast. Just use your phone or computer to fill out UCCU's super easy mortgage application.
You'll receive an instant pre-approval before you start shopping.
Your completed mortgage file will be underwritten by UCCU's very own in-house professionals.
Like us.
Seriously fast.
Buying or refinancing a home has never been this easy.
Seriously fast and super easy.
It's what I do.
It's what I do.
It's what we do.
Introducing the new KSL Sports app, powered by KSLSports.com, Utah's only all-in local sports app, connecting you with all the action you love. Free. Download the free KSL Sports app today from your favorite app store.
UVU leads by 3. They're hitting .261. New Mexico State down at .097. Got a couple players hitting a negative percentage. Lindsey Blakey, who had an excellent performance last night, and the freshman Victoria Barrett also hitting negative .500 right now.
You know, Barrett mentioned it a little bit ago. She was so efficient, and I mean, if you're watching from home, take a moment to. I'm sure that we'll see at least a few from her on that left side, even right here. I mean, granted, she didn't get the greatest angle, but if she is able to get up and have the time to survey the floor and then just rip through, it is a thing of beauty.
She's a talented freshman for New Mexico State. Victoria Barrett, a freshman from Stafford, Virginia. She had 12 kills yesterday, but you really got to tip your cap to that Wolverine coaching staff after the set 2. Really tightened things up defensively, and she was really a non-factor in the last 2 sets of the match. And so far, the Wolverines continuing to do a good defensive job. That overpass leads to an easy kill, and it's 2 quick points after the first break to bring New Mexico State within 1.
That was a great serve by Barrett, resulting in the overpasses, you know, just about as good as an ace.
Barrett will serve again. Jardine to Jasa. Way up to Kristen Bell. It's deflected at the net. Markham comes in. Swayze back to Lipscomb. Dig from Vincent. But it looks like we have a handling error on Utah Valley, and it's a 3-0 run to tie things up at 15.
The Wolverines were keeping that cushion to about 2 points, maybe 3 a couple times, and now the Aggies swinging it the other direction.
Nice. Side out, courtesy of Kendra Knock.
That's deflating for New Mexico State. You could see the whole team just turn their heads where the ball landed all at once. It's just like, ugh. Well, on to the next one.
Yes. Davison. A nice hard swing there from Savannah Davison.
She's another impressive athlete on the outside.
Serving now is Darian Markham. Jardine. Now Jace over to Vongana. And Vongana side out for the Wolverines.
Vongana having a great first set here. 3 kills on 7 attempts. You take a look at the replay. Great pass. Just too hot to handle.
Serving for the Wolverines is number 14. Brighton Bishop from Pleasant Grove High School. Pleasant Grove High School has a long history here with the Wolverine volleyball program. Kazan Tanavasa from Pleasant Grove, Brighton Bishop, Abby Miller, and a lot of greats in the past coming from Pleasant Grove High School. Madison Dennison comes to mind. Elise Jones.
Yes.
I know we're forgetting some.
We're definitely forgetting some, but so many. And I'm sure there will be many more to come. And Utah Valley scores again. The Wolverines hitting at right around 300 for the set. Stick around. We'll be right back on the WAC Digital Network.
Right next to UVU, Wolverine Crossing is a premier award-winning student property in Orem. With nearly $5 million in renovations, Wolverine Crossing has the look and feel of luxury living, including contemporary upgrades and top-tier amenities. Wolverine Crossing supports a strong academic environment, whether you're on campus or online, and the resident assistant program is nationally recognized.
See what's under the shade.
Wolverines have used a 3-0 run to go back up 19-16. And as a team, they're doing an excellent job siding out at 81%. And they're hitting better than New Mexico State as well. Though New Mexico State does connect right there to end a 3-0 run. The Aggies hitting just above 100. And Utah Valley just a couple points shy of hitting 300, which is a big turnaround from the first set last night, where the Aggies were above 300 for the first 2 sets. It did climb all the way down to the mid-hundreds by the end of the match, but that defensive effort we saw in sets 3, 4, and 5 from Utah Valley has carried over to this first set in their second meeting. Michaels back to Burt Seal. She misfires, and it's a Wolverine point. They're 5 away from taking set number 1 and potentially winning 4 sets in a row against the top team in the WAC.
Just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's so cool to witness this, where we've said it I don't know how many times, as Utah Valley a little too long on the serve is a service error, but snapping the streak not only in just the match wins, but the number of sets that New Mexico State had won consecutively.
Nice dig there from Markham. Michael setting it up for Barrett. Denied by Utah Valley.
Oh.
But this time, Michaels finds Mosher. Mosher on the kill for New Mexico State. 4 kills for Leah Mosher, leading the conference in hitting percentage.
That's a perfect example of why. That's so hard to defend.
Hitting .500 here in set 1. Dorius swings hard and can't locate that back row. It's another New Mexico State point. And they have tied the match at 20. We've seen a couple 3-0 runs by each team here in the latter stages of set 1.
Yeah, Utah Valley, it feels like they've really controlled the majority of this set, but here we are notched up at 20. Make that 21-20 New Mexico State.
4-0 run now for New Mexico State, and Coach Atoa wants to talk it over as the Aggies take their first lead of set 1.
At Intermountain Healthcare, we understand that broken arms haven't stopped. Babies continue to be born, emergencies continue to happen, and doctor visits are still needed. At Intermountain Healthcare, we've put the measures in place to safely care for you in these difficult times. So please don't put off the care you need, especially for stroke-like symptoms, chest pain, difficulty breathing, or other urgent care. We're here for you. Visit intermountainhealthcare.org/here4you to learn how to get the care you need.
The Aggies have trailed the majority of set number 1, but they've used a 4-0 scoring run to take the lead at 21-20. Wolverines' side-out percentage, which was so stellar throughout this set, has dipped all the way down to 70%. Was in the 80 percentile for the majority of this set. A lot of volleyball left here in set number 1, though. Wolverines needing a side-out to maybe switch momentum. Hampson on the slide. Jardine keeps it up. Nice awareness from Hampson. Plays it off the net. Michaels to Mosher and Jasa. Her dig unsuccessful. And it's now a 5-0 scoring run by New Mexico State.
Not the best spot for Utah Valley. Got to get a stop right here. New Mexico State could put together a big old run and steal the first set.
Dorius Davison with a nice dig. Michael slides in. Barrett, great play. Oh.
That's tough.
I thought that was a good dig from Jardine, but it's a 6-0 Aggie run at just the right time. And they're 2 points away from taking set number 1. This feels similar to what we saw in set number 1 last night, Kyle.
Very, very similar. But you know what's I guess not similar is we haven't seen very many errors across the board from either team. I mean, New Mexico State, they've got 9 of them, but as far as the service errors go, where we saw so many of those, you just got 1 for each team. So it's been a lot more clean.
Let's take a look at the current Western Athletic Conference standings. New Mexico State lost their first match last night to the Wolverines, who have climbed within 1 game of tying New Mexico State. GCU 7-2. Wolverines and Lopes will face off later this month. Tarleton, Dixie State, CBU, Seattle, UTRGV, and Chicago State rounding out those standings. And Wolverines are certainly in the mix for potentially their first WAC championship.
If they're able to win today, it's going to be hard for them not to win that conference championship, at least in the regular season.
Especially because indications from the Wolverines is that Tanabasa will be available at that point. It'll be nice to have her back in the lineup for Utah Valley.
Of course.
Service error. You just talked about the errors.
I did. I'll take credit for that. It'll either jinx you or you get credit for a point. So
only the second service error for New Mexico State. We'll have to keep an eye on that one to see if it swings momentum back to UVU with Abby Miller serving. And Davison, a tremendous play to save a service ace from Abby Miller. Dorius, nice finish, Tori Dorius.
I'm gonna call that the windmill windup from Tori Dorius. So good, comes from such a high angle, it's so hard to defend.
New Mexico State wants to talk things over as the Wolverines climb within 1.
We can stand together by standing far apart.
Stay 6 feet apart from other people.
Wear your mask when you go out.
Wash your hands often.
If you feel sick, stay home.
Be respectful of others.
The choices you make are critical.
By protecting yourself, it helps protect all of us. Your actions can save lives.
What we do now will shape our future.
Stay safe.
Join the Wolverine Club, a simple message with a major impact.
Finds the back of the net for the Wolverines!
Support student athletes like former Utah Valley University women's soccer star, graduate, and Rhodes Scholar finalist Hannah Bruce. Not only is Hannah the first UVU student athlete to be a Rhodes Scholar finalist, she is currently studying to earn a master's degree in neuroscience at the renowned University of Oxford in England. Support the next Wolverine Rhodes Scholar finalist by joining the Wolverine Club today.
Miller nearly had a service ace on the previous point as the Wolverines look to equalize at 23. Michael sets it up for Barrett, and the Wolverine block unable to keep it in play, so it's a side out, and it's now set point for New Mexico State.
It's one of the first real big swings we've seen from Barrett so far today, and it paid off.
Her 3rd kill on her 11th attempt. And back to serve will be number 13, Kiki Holloway, a freshman from Phoenix. Service error for New Mexico State. Just 2 back-breaking service errors in the latter stages of set number 1, keeping the door open for Utah Valley. 3 service errors by the Aggies in set number 1. Can the Wolverines capitalize on a critical mistake? Nearly an overpass. And Barrett, what a shot! As Barrett finds that back corner, the freshman for New Mexico State gives the Aggies a set 1 victory.
Same thing we saw yesterday. Utah Valley was in a great position to take set number 1, and New Mexico State snuck in and took it out from right underneath them.
6-0 run by New Mexico State catapults them to a set 1 victory. We'll take a break here on the WAC Digital Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment.
How does Costa Vida create the ultimate sweet pork burrito? We start by following our award-winning recipe, one that calls for everything to be made fresh, from scratch every day. Like our beautifully braised pork, seasoned beans, savory sauces, and delicious cilantro lime rice. Even our tortillas are cooked to order. It's a difference you can taste. Treat yourself to the ultimate sweet pork burrito, only at Costa Vida.
About putting you in the know before you go. It takes the KSL weather specialists. Weather made special.
Welcome back to Orem, Utah. It's Matt Baiamonte and Kyle Bruderer as New Mexico State, the top team in the WAC, used a 6-0 run late in set number 1 to steal the set from the Wolverines, who led for the majority of that first set. Wolverines out-hit the Aggies, 229 to 213. Had one more block, but it was New Mexico State who came out on top. Later this week, Kyle, the Western Athletic Conference basketball tournament will be taking place down in Las Vegas, and the conference handed out some awards. As you see, Fardaz Amac cleaned up for Utah Valley. WAC Player of the Year, WAC Defensive Player of the Year, First Team, Defense, All WAC, Newcomer. Just incredible season for Amac, for Coach Madsen in his second year. J.J. Overton, second team. Evan Cole, honorable mention. And Trey Woodbury, honorable mention as well. Co-champions in the regular season. I'll be curious to see how Utah Valley can do in that tournament. An opportunity to get to the big dance if they can win that tournament.
That'd be so awesome. I'd be so happy for Coach Madsen in just his second year, where, you know, there were how many players transferred to
there was
BYU
a
to continue playing with Pope?
When Coach Madsen came in, 3 players transferred.
Very good players,
very
too.
good. And then a year later, another player transferred as well. And so Coach Madsen has done an outstanding job bringing in new guys and getting a lot of production from that new unit. So it'll be fun to watch the Wolverines.
Both men's and women's. The women's team is going in as the second seed. So I'm excited to see what happens for both of them.
Just to put a bow on that conversation about the Wolverine basketball team, talk about transfers and Coach Madsen finding new talent. They had the most incoming transfers in college basketball this season. So his job to get them to buy into the system and to gel together as a team, really impressive stuff from Utah Valley's basketball team. Great play at the net by Utah Valley to get that first point. It was Jasa Funk Stratton with a solo block. Another block.
Speaking of solo blocks, this time Kristen Bell.
Wolverines out-blocking the Aggies 4-1.
We only saw 2 blocks the entire first set, and the first 2 possessions are blocks in the second set.
Jasa was there. Jardine over to Kristen Bell. A little low on that attempt. Hits the net, and it's back to New Mexico State. Their first point is set number 2.
Barrett, while she was at the service line last set, is when New Mexico State started to put together a big run. She served the ball very, very well.
Jasa over to Kristen Bell, off the elbow of Carly Einers-Swayze, and it's a Wolverine side out.
Second kill for Bell.
Here's the replay. Great location from Kristen Bell. Shoots off the elbow of Swayze.
Beautiful back set from Jasa Funk Stratton as well, who is up to 10 assists so far.
Davison gets the kill and a side out for New Mexico State. In comes number 21, Leah Mosher. Serving is a freshman from McKinney, Texas, Darian Markham.
Right down the middle.
Great play there by Utah Valley to regain possession on the side out. Kill is courtesy of Kendra Knock with Jardine to serve. Shani Lipscomb gets the kill for New Mexico State as it was touched at the net.
It's feeling eerily similar to set number 1.
Long way to go.
Oh,
set
yeah.
number 2.
It's a long, long way to go.
Natalie Michaels will serve for the Aggies. A service ace for Michaels. And Michaels now leads the conference in service aces per set. She overcame Brighton Bishop. So we're seeing 2 of the top servers in the conference in Bishop and Michaels, as you just saw an ace right there.
Someone needs to tell Bishop, and she can take her number 1 spot back here in this match.
Another kill for Mosher. Jardine unable to keep that one in. 5-4.
No service aces for Utah Valley yet.
Going into yesterday's match, they had a double-digit lead over second-place Tarleton in total service aces. New Mexico State's done a nice job at keeping that weapon at bay. Side out, courtesy of Tori Dorius. Dorius now with 4 kills. She's tied with Kendra Knock for match highs for the Wolverines.
Dorius has been awesome the last couple days. 13 kills yesterday, which was 1 shy of tying a season high.
Funk Stratton to Hampson over Mosher's outstretched arms. And
there wasn't any more stretch in that arm. Couldn't quite get there.
I'm not sure if there was a miscommunication between Mosher and Michaels or if it was just a bad set on the outside to Burt Seal. Either way, it's a Wolverine point. Michaels back to Davison over the block. Diving in was Brighton Bishop, and it results in a Wolverine point.
That looked like it was going to be an easy free ball on an overpass for Utah Valley with the quick response time. Love it. Let's see the replay. Nope, it's not there. Thought it was going to be there.
Miller will serve again. Looking for the first Wolverine service ace. Chase it to Miller, now over to Dorius. But it's Katie Burtseal on the block for New Mexico State.
Side out percentage for both teams right about 67% as they continue to trade points.
Wolverines have a slight advantage hitting percentage, 214 to 175. Did Hampson find it? No, they're going to say she just missed. Loved the idea.
Such a great look. Dorius.
Now it's Katie Burtseal. Miller tries to make a play, can't do so. Both teams kind of going back and forth. Davison serving. Markham over to Burtseal. Off the green pipe. Jasa's ready for it. Dorius hits it over on the 3rd attempt. Barrett back to Markham. Good opportunity now for Utah Valley. Jasa over to Dorius. And Tori Dorius gets the kill.
The wind up.
Abby Vincent will serve. Missed a season due to a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints mission, back on the roster. There's the dig from Vincent. Now Jasa over to Kristen Bell. Barrett with the dig. Burtseal misses. And the Wolverines go back on top.
if I'm Utah Valley, I want to put my foot on the gas as hard as I can and build enough of a cushion as possible, because you know New Mexico State's going to continue to fight and close the gap. So Utah Valley got to capitalize.
Jardine with the dig. Kristen Bell now. Markham is there. Michaels runs under it to Savannah Davison. Great play. Oh! I thought Jardine had made a nice play, but Jason could not keep it in, and it's back to New Mexico State. Substitution, number 13, Kiki Holloway comes in to serve for New Mexico State. Bell to Funk Stratton, back to Kristen Bell, deflected at the net. Michaels over to Barrett, blocked! It's Hampson and Jason Funk Stratton. A good combination at the net for Utah Valley. They had 9 blocks combined last night, and so far that combination has 5 blocks here in this match. Michaels up to Barrett. Nice
That's
pass.
That Barrett attack we were used to yesterday.
Yep. Barrett up to 5 kills now. Serving's number 14, Carly Einer-Swayze. She has 9 assists and 1 dig for New Mexico State. Barrett misfires long, and it's back to the Wolverines. Callie Vongana checks in. Vongana, 3 kills, hitting .429 and a block.
And a dig. Can't forget the dig.
Swayze back to Barrett, and Jasa can't keep it in play. Both teams been trading points for quite a while here in set number 2. Victoria Barrett serving again. And it is a service error. That one was way long. The 4th service error for New Mexico State.
Something really interesting, Matt, is, you know, yesterday the number of kills, the disparity between both teams. Right now, you've got 26-15 in favor of New Mexico State, and it was similar yesterday. In fact, it was even more. We may see that number climb, but Utah Valley's done a lot of other things to keep it so close.
The block being one of those, 6-2 in favor of UVU. And the Wolverines have been clean. Only 6 attack errors. New Mexico State has 15 of those. I think really when you boil it down, the difference between 2 evenly matched teams right now was that 6-0 run.
Yeah.
That came at the right time. That propelled New Mexico State to that set 1 win, and other than that, I think both teams are pretty equal.
You're not wrong. It's interesting how just it balances out once you lay it all on the scales. And Dorius is able to come through for Utah Valley, and again, balancing the scales, we're tied up at 13.
And we're in a similar position to set number 1, where it's equal at kind of that midway point of the set. Who's going to go on a 4-0, 5-0, 6-0 run to really apply some pressure to the opponent? In set 1, that was New Mexico State. Jardine can't get under it. Aggies take the lead 14-13. Back to serve will be Natalie Michaels. Michaels with 1 service ace this afternoon and 15 assists. Jason back to Vongana. And it's another Aggie point. They take the lead into the first break of set number 2. New Mexico State on top. We'll see who can stay on top after this.
I love this view.
I love it every time this commercial airs. I get to drink another Mountain Dew.
UCCU is both a credit union and a full-service mortgage company.
Which means that UCCU always provides the lowest rates and lower insurance premiums than other lenders. When your mortgage rate and insurance premium are lower, your monthly payment is also lower. It's just science. That's more money you can put into your home.
Or back into your pocket.
So if you're thinking about buying or refinancing a home, talk to us.
The credit union that's been putting people over profits for over 60 years.
It's what I do.
It's what I do.
It's what we do.
Welcome back inside the Lockhart Arena where the Aggies lead it 1-0. It's been a pretty even set here in set number 2. New Mexico State's hitting percentage at 130 for the set. Wolverines down to 0-5-3.
Utah Valley's pretty good out of the timeout, so we'll see if they can side out right here as they really need it.
And they got it. Courtesy of a service error, number 5.
I'll take credit for that one, too. You're going to see Kyle with a couple points on the stat sheet at the end of this.
No, we're not.
I'll write it in.
Abby Miller will serve for the Wolverines. Still looking for their first service ace of the match. They lead the conference in service aces, but it's a service error that gives it back to New Mexico State.
Going to have a couple of errors to my name on the box score as well.
Davison serving for the Aggies. Chaser runs under it to Tori Dorius. Great play by Dorius to just keep it alive there on that second hit.
Wow.
Oh, my.
Man.
Darian Markham. Kind of a broken possession.
Totally broken. Wow.
And finds an opening in the back corner. It's a 4-1 run for New Mexico State. Make it
another
5-1.
broken play turned into a point.
We wondered who'd go on that first big run in set number 2. We've got the answer. It's the Aggies on a 5-1 run to take a 4-point lead. We'll be back with the remainder of set number 2 after this break here on the WAC Digital Network.
I'm here to ask you a question. Are you all in? Our caregivers are tired. You're tired. The pandemic has worn on everyone. We believe that in order to have a healthy economy and healthy towns and cities, we need to have healthy people who live and work in them. We're all in so our communities can live the healthiest lives possible. Are you all in with us?
It's a 5-1 run and has the Aggies up 18-14 here in the Lockhart Arena in Orem, Utah. 1-0 New Mexico State right now. Let's take a look at upcoming Wolverine broadcast here on the WAC Digital Network. We've got a pair of women's soccer matches coming up against California Baptist, March 11th, March 13th this weekend. You can watch the men's and women's WAC basketball tournament down in Las Vegas, and then next week there's a pair of softball doubleheaders, men's baseball in there as well. So a lot of Wolverine sports upcoming this week and next week for you UVU fans. Davison serving. Great effort by Bishop to get under it. Dorius misfires. It's not touched, and now it is a 6-1 run. It was about this stage, maybe a hair later in set 1, where the Aggies went on a 6-0 run, and the Wolverines have their backs against the wall in set number 2. Second attempt by Hampson, but Davison keeps it in play. Jardine dives in. Jasa, a dive. Dorius can't get it over. And New Mexico State is in complete control here in set number 2.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for Utah Valley, down 6 as the Aggies hit that 20-point mark.
It's not over yet. We'll see if the Wolverines can dig themselves out of the hole. They're down 6 here in set number 2.
The breaking news, weather, and traffic you need to know before you go. Wake up to real stories from real people. The news specialists on KSL Today. Mornings made special.
I love this view.
I love it every time this commercial airs. I get to drink another Mountain Dew.
It's a 7-1 New Mexico State run. Davison is still serving. Hampson mishandles it. Great effort on the back end by Jardine and Bishop, but they can't get it over. It's an 8-1 run now for New Mexico State. I think this will be too much to overcome here in set number 2. We'll see Kaylee Downs for the first time this afternoon for Utah Valley.
Downs had 3 kills in the match yesterday. Utah Valley able to side out finally and stop the bleeding. Can they put together a run of a lifetime?
Trail by 6, Abby Vincent comes in for Utah Valley to serve.
With the setter's dump.
Surprising, Kyle, that we haven't seen a service ace yet from Utah Valley. They've served the ball well. They only have 2 errors, just no aces yet to their name in the second meeting between these two teams. Miller's pancaked attempt just a hair late. And it goes back to New Mexico State, whose side-out percentages climbed all the way to 72%. And Utah Valley really struggling in that category. It's all the way down to 58%.
Hitting at a flat 0 in the current set as well, while the Aggies are hitting 233.
Kiki Holloway will serve. Vincent up and over to Bell. Mexico State denies it. This time Downs through the block. Now it's New Mexico State's turn. Sadie Hampson with the side out for UVU.
UVU's got to score 2 or 3 at least right now.
Hampson will serve. She has 2 kills and a block. Barrett up high. It's blocked. Kaylee Downs, Kendra Knock. The 7th Wolverine block in the match. They lead that category by 5. Hampson will serve again. Burt Seal finds the fingertips of Kendra Knock, and it's a side out for New Mexico State. Serving was Einer Swayze, and it's a service ace, the 4th service ace for New Mexico State. It's now set point, and they're serving the volleyball significantly better than they did last night.
Way, way better.
Last night they had 4 aces and 14 errors. Right now only 5 errors to go along with those 4 aces. Kaylee Downs to keep the set alive, and she does so. It's a side out for UVU. Callie Vongana and Jasa Funk Stratton back in for the Wolverines.
Even if Utah Valley doesn't win this set, I would love to see them at least get to 20.
Davison, Swayze on the slide to Lipscomb. That's been effective for New Mexico State. They dial up the slide to finish off set number 2. And just like last night, New Mexico State leads it 2-0. Doesn't mean it's over, as we learned last night, but a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do for Utah Valley. They want to make things interesting here in their second meeting of the season. Tori Dorius leads the way for Utah Valley with 6 kills. Kendra Knock with 4. Kelly Vongana with 3. And for the Aggies, it's Victoria Barrett with 8. Savannah Davison with 7. Shani Lipscomb and Leah Mosher with 6 apiece. We'll take a break here on the WAC Digital Network. We'll be back with set number 3 after this.
Right next to UVU, Wolverine Crossing is a premier award-winning student property in Orem. With nearly $5 million in renovations, Wolverine Crossing has the look and feel of luxury living, including contemporary upgrades and top-tier amenities. Wolverine Crossing supports a strong academic environment, whether you're on campus or online, and the Resident Assistant Program is nationally recognized, keeping you safe and secure. Lease right now and get $200 off your first month's rent. Wolverine Crossing, this is home.
At Murdoch Hyundai, the model year and sales event starts now. The open road to adventure begins at Murdoch Hyundai. Visit Murdoch Hyundai today and get 0% interest for 6 years on a new 2020 Santa Fe or Sonata. You walk through our doors, you feel like family at Murdoch Hyundai in Logan, Linden, and Murray.
At Intermountain Healthcare, we understand that broken arms haven't stopped. Babies continue to be born, emergencies continue to happen, and doctor visits are still needed. At Intermountain Healthcare, we've put the measures in place to safely care for you in these difficult times. So please don't put off the care you need, especially for stroke-like symptoms, chest pain, difficulty breathing, or other urgent care. We're here for you. Visit intermountainhealthcare.org/here-for-you to learn how to get the care you need.
Winter has arrived, and with it, the Murdoch All-Wheel Drive event. Be prepared for any Utah winter roads. Visit Murdoch Hyundai today and get 0% interest for 5 years on a new Tucson. When you walk through our doors, you feel like family at Murdoch Hyundai in Logan, Linden, and Murray.
How does Costa Vida create the ultimate sweet pork burrito? We start by following our award-winning recipe, one that calls for everything to be made fresh, from scratch every day. Like our beautifully braised pork, seasoned beans, savory sauces, and delicious cilantro lime rice. Even our tortillas are cooked to order. It's a difference you can taste. Treat yourself to the ultimate sweet pork burrito, only at Costa Vida.
Welcome back. We got a minute left before we start set number 3, where New Mexico State leads at 2-0, just like they did last night. However, we do know the Wolverines are certainly capable of coming back and forcing a 5th set. Let's take a look at some stats right now. It's kills in favor of New Mexico State, plus 15 in that category. They're hitting it better, in large part due to that second set in which they hit it phenomenally well.
Yep.
They've done a nice job on the service line as well. 4-0 in the service aces category. For the Wolverines, what would you like to see differently in set number 3, Kyle?
Well, the main thing I want to see is Kristen Bell get more tries at the ball. Total attempts right now, 15. She's had 2 kills, only 1 error. But if you take a look at that, think about this. We're 2 sets in. Take a look at the stats from yesterday. Kristen Bell had 17 kills on 54 attempts and only had 4 errors total. And so she really had the hot hand yesterday. I'd love to see the ball go to her more. And we've seen that Jason Funk-Stratton can set her up beautifully. So, let's give her the rock. Let her rock and fire, and let's see what happens.
Season high for Kristen Bell with 17 kills last night. Callie Vongina, another player worth noting, with a career high in kills last night in that 3-2 win. Vongina has 3 kills right now on 9 attempts, hitting .222. Both teams back on the floor for set number 3. Kaylee Downs will get the start here in set number 3 for the Wolverines, along with Jason Funk-Stratton, Saren Jardine, Tori Dorius, Kristen Bell, and Kendra Knock. And Jasa will start things off. Wolverines still looking for their first service ace. Swayze.
Great ball.
Finds Blakey, and Blakey finds the floor for a point. Therian Markham will serve. She has 1 kill and 7 digs at that libero spot. A service error. Gives it back to UVU, and Brighton Bishop comes in.
New Mexico State had 14 service errors. I think you mentioned that not too long ago, but Utah Valley had an opportunity to capitalize on many of those yesterday, and so few errors on New Mexico State so far. The Wolverines have got to do more.
Bishop with the dig. Chase it back to Downs on the right side. Diving play by Barrett. Now it's Savannah Davison. Chase it to Jardine, over to Tori Dorius. Over the block, Swayze is there. And nice play from Shani Lipscomb, a junior from San Diego, California. Gets over the block attempt from Knock, and Dorius finds a home for New Mexico State. Michaels serving. Leads the conference now in aces per set. Tori Dorius with a huge rip, getting the kill for Utah Valley.
Utah Valley needed that huge rip, as you just said, from Dorius. When she gets a clean look at it, it's tough to defend.
Dorius now leads the Wolverines in kills with 7. She's got a nice swing. Jardine up into the air. Now it's Dorius again. Bishop tried to recover on the block, but it goes out of play.
Got to appreciate the response time, but sometimes they just don't fall.
Savannah Davison, she was on the service line when the Aggies went on that big run in set 2, but the second service ace of the set gives it back to the Wolverines. Service errors becoming maybe a little bit of a problem for New Mexico State here.
Utah Valley needs it to become more of a problem for them, because the Wolverines are having a hard time just sighting out otherwise at the moment.
And on cue, there's a quick side out by New Mexico State. They've done a phenomenal job since that 6-0 run, basically in set number 1, where their side out percentage was in the 50s. Looked like the Wolverines were going to cruise to a set 1 victory. They go on that 6-0 run. Their side out percentage is all the way up to 74%, and a service ace, their 5th service ace of the match, gives them a 2-point lead in set 3. They're +5 in that category. It just seems like ever since that 6-0 run, they've been slowly building confidence and momentum. Sadie Hampson with the side out and kill on the slide. Hampson with 3 kills now to go along with those 3 blocks. Here's the replay as Miller back setting it to Hampson.
Oh, that's
great
nice.
Location.
Kristen Bell back into the match for Utah Valley. I'd love to see her get more attempts right here.
Victoria Barrett sides out for New Mexico State. They're doing an outstanding job siding out here in the early moments of set 3. As we'll see Shani Lipscomb and Carly Einer Swayze. Swayze will serve for the Aggies. She has 14 assists.
I think Utah Valley was hoping for the point, but nope.
It's a nice play, but Vongana may have slipped and went under the net. It goes to New Mexico State. Swayze will serve again. Miller over to Kristen Bell. Davison pops it up, and Swayze over to Markham. Good chance now for the Wolverines. Setter's dump! Abby Miller.
That's nice.
Caught the Aggies sleeping.
She's had 2 of those today.
And a side out for UVU. Sadie Hampson will go back to serve. Davison to Swayze, and the slide to Shani Lipscomb. Shani now with 8 kills. That's second best for New Mexico State. It's been an effective play.
She's been hitting over 500 as well, so extremely effective.
538 for Shani Lipscomb, and the Aggies are up to 253 for the match. They're hitting 500 in the set.
How about another service ace for the Aggies? Make that 6. Compared to 0 for Utah Valley. I still can't believe it. It's not necessarily, I mean, it's, you know, awesome for the Aggies with those 6 aces, but I just still can't believe that Utah Valley has yet to record one.
The Wolverines had one more ace last night, right, served by New Mexico State. Make that another service ace. Back-to-back aces for the freshman Victoria Barrett. And it's a 5-point lead now for the Aggies. Vincent to Miller. Now it's Vongana. The block touches a Wolverine, and so it's another point for New Mexico State. A 4-0 run causes Coach Ito and the Wolverines to take a timeout.
Some people see just another local Utah sports app. Oh, wait, what? A local Utah sports app? Introducing the new KSL Sports app, powered by KSLSports.com, Utah's only all-in local sports app, connecting you with all the action you love. The latest news, insider analysis, podcasts from the pros, and so much more. Free. Available right now, anywhere you are. Download the free KSL Sports app today from your favorite app store.
At UCCU, we do mortgages fast.
Seriously fast.
Just use your phone or computer to fill out UCCU's super easy mortgage application.
And buying or refinancing a home has never been this easy.
Seriously fast and super easy.
Welcome back into the Lockhart Arena where the Aggies lead by 6. Wolverines were looking and hoping to get that sweep over the Aggies, who have not been swept in conference play since 2014 at the hands of UMKC, who's no longer a member of the WAC.
Crazy. 7 years ago. It's amazing.
7 years ago, and it's been 3 years. 2018 was the last time New Mexico State lost back-to-back matches in the conference to CBU and Bakersfield. So this is the premier program in the conference right now, New Mexico State. And you're seeing why here this afternoon as they lead by 4. A couple quick points, though, by UVU. Jace serving. Davison up high, deflected by the Wolverines. Now they'll try the slide to Lipscomb. That slide seems to work every time for New Mexico State, and it's a side out.
Yeah, it's been so efficient.
Markham serves for New Mexico State. Jason and Kendra knocked down the middle. Swayze was there. Markham passing to Davison. Was it deflected? No, it was not. And it's a point to UVU. Tori Dorius comes in for the Wolverines, as well as Brighton Bishop, who you see there, will be serving for UVU. Overpass by Davison. Mosher pops it up on the third hit. And it's a New Mexico State block. It looked like the Wolverines had gotten the Aggies out of system. New Mexico State recovers, and it turns into a block. That's the Aggies' 5th block of the match. They are being outblocked by UVU 8-5. Jasa on the right side to Kaylee Downs.
Wow.
What a play there from the freshman Barrett. And it's going to result in an Aggie point. Victoria Barrett has been outstanding this afternoon. 9 kills, 15 digs.
She must have heard what we were saying earlier, because she had a rough first set, but man, she has turned it around.
Natalie Michaels will serve for New Mexico State. They're up by 6. Downs over to Brighton Bishop, and now New Mexico State will set up shop. They'll try Davison, and she gets through the block. Aggies have matched their game-high lead of 7, and Coach Atoa wants another timeout here. Well, we'll take a break as well on the WAC Digital Network. Back after this.
Some people see just another local Utah sports app. Oh, wait, what? A local Utah sports app? Introducing the new KSL Sports app, powered by KSLSports.com. Utah's only all-in local sports app, connecting you with all the action you love. The latest news, insider analysis, podcasts from the pros, and so much more. Free. Available right now, anywhere you are. Download the free KSL Sports app today from your favorite app store.
Aggies are in control here in the second consecutive meeting. They're 10 points away from a 3-0 sweep over UVU. Kaylee Downs. Now they'll try Davison for New Mexico State. Jardine's dig, no good. And the lead has been pushed to 8. This feels like confidence and momentum have been in favor of New Mexico State since the end of set number 1.
Well, they've cleaned up the errors a little bit more. Utah Valley's committed more, and 20 more kills for New Mexico State. So wow. That's tough for Utah Valley. I mean, they're able to side out right here, but they have got a tall mountain to climb.
The hitting percentage greatly favoring New Mexico State in this third set. Aggies hitting .412. UVU down to .062. Quick side out for New Mexico State. Pushes the lead back to 8. Savannah Davison with 10 kills. Leah Mosher had the kill. She's up to 7. Service error gives it back to the Wolverines with Abby Miller and Callie Bongana coming back in. Abby Miller will serve. Miller has 2 kills, 5 assists, and a dig. Would like to see a service ace here. All the way over to Bertseal. Jardine's dig is there. Miller over to Dorius.
Ball just came off wrong.
(18-10). Substitution. We'll see Kiki Holloway come in to serve for New Mexico State. What do you think's been the difference here in this third set? Those first 2 sets, I know set 2 was 25-18, but if you take out that massive run by New Mexico State, it was even for a good chunk of the set.
I think that run was the big difference maker there, where I think Utah Valley was just never able to get that energy and momentum back at all. So, I mean, granted, we're talking like it's over. Well, it's certainly not over yet. Utah Valley is very capable of coming back here in this set. But the odds are not in their favor.
One of those reasons it's not in their favor is New Mexico State just continues to side out at a high clip. They're up to 76% for the match. Wolverines down at 58%. Wolverines just have really struggled to put together that signature momentum-changing 5-0, 6-0 run that we saw a couple times in sets 3, 4, and 5 last night.
And New Mexico State is hitting .429 in this current set too, so that's tough to beat.
Sadie Hampson will serve. Kendra Knock comes in for the Wolverines as well. Hampson has 4 kills and 3 blocks. Davison to Swayze, now over to Barrett. Almost blocked, but Barrett, good awareness to get it over. But Kristen Bell gets through the block. She's been quiet in sets 2 and 3, but Bell picks up her 4th kill of the match. Victoria Barrett off the fingertips of Kendra Knock. Now Miller setter's dump, but Swayze was ready for it. All the way over to Lipscomb. Markham to Swayze, now Barrett over the block. Kristen Bell is there. Miller to Vongana. And New Mexico State will take a timeout as the Wolverines have cut an 8-point deficit to 5. We'll be back after this.
Join the Wolverine Club, a simple message with a major impact.
Ghana's first Winter Games skeleton.
Support student athletes like former Utah Valley University track star, graduate, and current Olympian Akwasi Frimpong.
Yes, South Korea, here I come.
Akwasi was the first person to represent his nation of Ghana at the Winter Olympics in the skeleton. Support the next UVU Olympian by joining the Wolverine Club today.
Wolverines on a 3-0 run, trying to stay alive here and not fall to the Aggies in a sweep. Hampson serving. Markham to Swayze. Lipscomb just pushes it over on the 3rd hit. Davison to Swayze down the middle, and it's a side out of the break. Lindsay Blakey, her 4th kill for New Mexico State, and they go back up by 6.
And back to serve again is Victoria Barrett, who's been really just killing it today with a double-double, 10 kills, 16 digs, and she has 2 service aces to go along with it.
Barrett can't keep it in. It's back to the Wolverines. 5-point lead. Kaylee Downs and Jasa Funk Stratton back in for UVU. Jasa had a career night last night with 35 assists. They'll need another great performance here from her if they want to claw back in it. Side out for New Mexico State. And I don't want to say that's been the story, but they've been outstanding.
Yeah.
74% side out percentage for New Mexico State. That's 15 percentage points better than UVU. Wolverines just have not been able to go on any big runs. Kristen Bell's attempt hits the antenna.
Tough angle.
Nearly impossible angle, and it's back to New Mexico State. They're up 7, 3 points away from winning the match 3-0. Barrett's dig. They'll try Davison over the block. Knock hits it over. Dorius passing to Jasa. Back to Kristen. Slide to Lipscomb. Jardine with the dig. Kaylee Downs hits it over on the 3rd hit. Slide to Lipscomb. And Lipscomb delivers again on the slide. The Wolverine block was ready for it, but it landed out of play.
Lipscomb now 10 kills on 19 attempts. Hitting .368.
3 Aggies with 10 kills. Davison into the Wolverine block. Kristen Bell, her 3rd block. Brighton Bishop comes in for UVU.
Now would be the time for a service ace.
Aggies with 7 service aces, Wolverines with none. You have to credit the Wolverines, only 2 errors. Just haven't been able to get those easy points off the serve. And now it is match point.
Mosier getting it right down the middle. 8 kills, 4 blocks. Hitting .412. So good.
It's likely New Mexico State will sweep UVU, though I do think this match is closer than the score indicates.
Yes.
There were some stretches where UVU played like the better team, but New Mexico State had a couple big runs that set them apart. Davison delivers for New Mexico State, and that'll wrap it up. 25-16 here in set number 3. Davison ends up leading the Aggies with 11 kills. Lipscomb with 10. Victoria Barrett with 10. Leah Mosher with 8. Lindsay Blakey and Katie Bertzio with 5 apiece. For the Wolverines, Tori Dorius with 7. Kendra Knock with 6. Sadie Hampson and Callie Vongana with 4 apiece. Quick thoughts before we exit, Kyle?
You know, in the big picture, I think that this was a successful outing for Utah Valley. They were able to beat the #1 team, who were undefeated in conference play. So
and they had won 34 matches in a row.
Yeah, so just, you know, really, really impressive by the Wolverines to do that without Kasna. And, you know, that's got to be a huge boost of confidence. Obviously, losing in the fashion they did today doesn't help. However, I think they're going to be in a great prime position come tournament time, which will be right here.
They go on the road next week to UTRGV, and then in 2 weeks from now we'll be back in the Lockhart Arena for what could be a very important series against Grand Canyon. So he's Kyle Bruder. I'm Matt Bayamonte, and thanks to our producer Ben Schroeder. We'll sign off this afternoon from Orem, Utah. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.